What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Kevin Jackwitz. This is the Kaged Review, and this is going to be a reaction, different kind of reaction, for an interview that Grace Randolph from Beyond the Trailer here on YouTube had with Zack Snyder regarding the Justice League, the Zack Snyder Justice League that fans have been clamoring for ever since the first Justice League. And I remember going to the theater to see the first Justice League, and I actually kind of liked it. There were a lot of things to like about it, but when you tear it apart, and the more times you watch it, the less and less you like it. It does feel very rushed, and there were some things that were thrown in there that just did not need to be, and you could tell that this did not have Zack Snyder's full hand at the end of the production of this movie. I was really kind of disappointed in that, and people have wanted to see Zack Snyder's full vision for this really since Justice League came out. And so we got the announcement that that is exactly what's happening, that HBO is fronting, I forget exactly what the amount was, but millions of dollars for Zack Snyder to basically do a lot of post-production on this movie to finish his vision for the movie. And I think that's very cool. I'm a huge fan of Zack Snyder. I have been. Man of Steel, some people had a problem with it. I absolutely loved it. Batman v Superman, more people had a problem with that. I actually really liked that one too. And I probably started watching Zack Snyder movies at probably The Watchmen. I think Watchmen was probably the first movie, which means I came late to the Zack Snyder party. But I really do think he is a visionary when it comes to movie making. He has the vision, and it comes out beautifully on screen. He does a lot of slow time, which, I don't know, it's okay. But his action sequences are phenomenal. And he is all about character development. So that's something that I love about this. So when I heard that Grace Randolph was doing this interview with Zack Snyder, I was very interested in seeing this. I think getting his own take on things is awesome, considering like this is where this movie is going. So ladies and gentlemen, with all that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at Grace Randolph's interview with Zack Snyder.
Look who we have here, Mr. Zack Snyder.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How does it feel to be the most talked about director in Hollywood?
I don't know. I don't know if that's 100% true, but it's well, it's fun to be busy. I guess that's the important thing.
Great PC answer.
We have. I'm working on finishing Army, and now pretty much full time on Justice League. So yeah.
Very cool.
Army of the Dead is for Netflix, right?
Yeah, Army of the Dead's for Netflix, and it's just a really fun and cool project that I got to do with those guys, and I'm really excited about it. I think it's something that everyone's gonna think is really crazy, but really fun. So I'm excited.
I'll have to check that out.
I can't wait. So the Snyder Cut is a bold move, Zach. You're breaking all the rules, including running time. So there's Titanic, 195 minutes. Gone with the Wind, 221 minutes. But I hear your Justice League is even longer.
Yeah, well, I can't.
Good.
I can't be. No one's going to accuse me of making short movies. That's a fact. Make my track record with, especially with my director's cuts is pretty crazy. I don't know why that is. Because it came from commercials, right? So it was always like, hey, 30 seconds. Get it? Maybe it's because of that. I was like,
yeah, you were like, I can't wait to break free of the 30 seconds.
So, yeah, but yeah, so, and I have sort of famously advertised the runtime at 2 hours and 14 minutes, or no, 214 minutes, 2 hours and 14 minutes. Hilarious. 214 minutes.
Everyone's like, that's pretty normal length.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, you're crazy. No, it's actually a little bit more than that. But I think now, it's certainly, when it's now in its current state, it's going to end up being longer than that yet. So, exciting to bring all this
that's long.
new material to the fans. They get to see all these crazy and awesome new sequences, and I think that's going to be really exciting for everyone.
Very cool.
So can you reveal like the ballpark of how long it's going to be, or is that still a closely guarded secret?
It's a slightly closely guarded secret, yeah. I just want, the thing is, like, I really want to, when I sort of talk about that in the upcoming time, because I'm still working on it, so I don't want to, like, say, because it's still...
Yeah, you don't want people to be like, where's the minutes you promised me?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, we're like holding you accountable.
Yeah, 2 minutes short, where are they?
Yeah, we want to see those. What was in those 2 minutes you cut out?
Yeah. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but it's a lot of it's post, and you're doing all of this from home. I had a wonderful time in 2017. I got to visit you and your team on the Warner Brothers lot. You had this huge suite of offices, a giant editing bay. But now you got to do this movie from home. What's it like with you and your team in quarantine?
It's kind of, look, it's challenging, but I'll be honest about our working situation in that it is pretty efficient. We've gotten to this point where we can really sort of I have editorial upstairs, and then downstairs we have like a screening room so we can watch the dailies or watch the visual effects as they come in, and then Dodie and I have like this amazing sort of mirrored editing system, so I can see.
Dodie's your editor.
Yeah, so I can see exactly what she's doing, and it's a really an amazing technological setup. So it's
Right
allowed us. The problem is you can't leave it, right? You don't. It's in that.
You'd be like 2 a.m. You'd be like, I have an idea.
It's literally in that. So like it's like it's crack of dawn till like the wee hours, and we're just you never. I mean, unless the kids come and drag me out, pretty much. It's good. It's fun though. I really enjoy it.
Have you had to call tech support?
Oh God, yeah, all the time.
That's great. That
Like
must be really crazy.
Those are our breaks. So the breaks we get is when we're like, oh, the machines don't work. Now we can go outside.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
jump on the
great.
trampoline or work out or
Hey,
something.
this was just unplugged. Oh, really?
Exactly. Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm hot.
I thought that was
I'm doing
the,
this
I
in
thought
my
that was the
warehouse.
fix to all technological problems. You just unplug it.
Yeah. That's how you fix yourself for a few minutes. So, speaking of secretive, you've only shown your cut to a handful of people, and it's already become legend. That's a lot of pressure. So what do you feel that the Snyder Cut needs to deliver?
Good question.
Look, the great thing about this
Good
whole
question.
process is it's sort of been an amazing, it's been a way to kind of allow filmmakers and storytellers, it's this kind of affirmation of this concept that, storytellers matter, their stories matter. And I think really the big pressure on me is just for it to be exactly true to itself, And I know that sounds like obvious, but, we as storytellers and as filmmakers, a lot of time, there's a lot of different powers that push and move and change, what you're doing as you're doing it. But I think with this process and this project, it really is an amazing opportunity just to, and what I think the fans want is just a very pure and exact version of the movie, and that's what I'm doing my best to
Very cool.
That sounds fantastic. So also the fans, what they want to know, there's been a lot of talk about continuity, cinematic universes, right? That just dominates comic book movie discussion overall these days. And some fans have been wondering how, or even if, your version of Justice League relates to the rest of the DCEU. Care to clarify?
Yeah, no, it's a good question in that, we shot the movie in 2016, so.
Things happen fast.
Yeah. It'll be 5 years old when it comes out. For me, I've been living with it for that long. So, I think that and frankly, the DC, cinematic universe has gone on its branched like a tree and blossomed and grown and amazing in great ways. I'm a producer on Wonder Woman 84, and I'm super excited about what Patty's done with that movie, and
me too.
It's amazing, and I love that.
I love
that character, and I love Gal. It's very close to me, and so that's great. That's amazing. I think to me, And you look at like what Matt's doing with Batman, and you know, you have this. And by the way, I think I'm super excited about that. By the way, I really,
I think it'll be very interesting.
Very cool that
I think
he's
he's
doing
an
that.
amazing filmmaker, and I think this is a great. And Robert's cool, and I just think it's cool. Anyway,
I'm sure they appreciate that.
well, it's just that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'm excited. But you know, for me, in the like, you know, where the movie falls is it's sort of, I believe that it really starts to represent its own path. You know, it doesn't really, it's kind of separate now from what I would say the DC universe, cinematic universe in continuity. I think it is kind of, it's divergent in that way. And I think that that's a good thing. I think that, you know, the power of DC and one of its cool strengths is the sort of multiverse concept where, you know, and also where they kind of put filmmakers first and say, you know what, guys, we want to hear your voice, your individual voices. Take these characters and do a run, and so show us what, like, you know, you would do in sort of the great tradition of comic book writing and runs that have been done with all these amazing characters. So I think that that is a cool and amazing sort of canvas. And so for me, you know, I think Justice League, you know, I've heard someone say like, oh, like, so you're entering the Snyderverse now when you watch and frankly, you know, this notion that, you know, what you'll see in Justice League and Batman vs Superman and Man of Steel, there's continuity across those three movies that's really, I think, you know, very, because I made them, you know, I think that that's what I really, that's my main focus, is to satisfy that narrative structure, you know.
To continue that story that so many people fell in love with.
Right.
Well, I really like, you know, we were talking about this beforehand, you know, in the run up to this, and I loved your explanation that it is like those great runs when you have these really amazing artists with visions take over a comic book character and just do like this really high art version of what they would do with that character if they were telling a story with them.
Yeah, and that's exactly how I feel about it. I just think that it's like these characters will live long past what we do, and they're going to go on other adventures into, like, you know, who knows where, space and time, and who knows, thank God.
Yeah.
So, you know, for me, it's really, I'm doing what I can at this time with these amazing actors and characters and situations in this scenario. And I just think that I'm blessed to have, like, you know, these actors sort of fill these shoes in this way that I think people really care about, and is really
Well, you
exciting.
picked them too. You did a very nice job. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But speaking of characters, I really like Evil Superman. You like Evil Superman. A lot of people, just like Batman, don't trust the guy. Why do you think the darker side of the Man of Steel is so appealing to people, and will we see more of that in the Snyder Cut?
Well, do I love the evil Superman? I'm not 100% sure if that's true. Other than that, I will say I love the idea of Superman going on a journey with his character, I love the idea of Superman having to, like, reconcile his morality, reconcile his place on Earth, reconcile like his love affair with Lois, and how that affects, you know, the way he relates to humanity, and all those things, as we all do with the normal relationships we all have in our daily lives. So I think that when you see Superman grapple with those things, he becomes a lot more relatable and a lot more, you know, you can
Superman,
see
that's dark.
What's that?
For Superman, that's dark.
Well, yeah, and I think that that's what I'm saying. So, like, when I see Superman, like, having to figure out, like, what to do, I now can go, like, wow, if I was Superman, I could see, you know, because Superman is such an abstract character in his powers and, like, what he's able to do, that anytime you can kind of bring him, you know, back down to earth, he becomes a lot more relatable, and then I think, and for that reason, more interesting. But I do, like, have a huge respect for his, like, moral code and his, like,
Oh, sure, but
I think his ultimate place as the sort of as the top of the pyramid of the DC superhero world.
Oh, totally.
I think you have to like, in the end, he has to achieve that pinnacle.
So you feel you're taking him to that pinnacle with your story?
I always felt like that was where
Yeah.
he was.
Because I think that you show
Okay.
him in a more, I think you show him in his most powerful. You know, like in some of your shots, some of my favorite shots that you've done, you know, like the heat vision laser eyes that sometimes he just has,
Yep.
you know, and some of the confrontations in Batman v Superman. And also, you know, the way he is just so powerful from what we've seen, you know, the glimmers we've only just seen in Justice League. And I think also, obviously the Nightmare stuff. So I think that
Yeah.
that stuff's really compelling.
Yeah, and frankly, really fun because, you know, we kind of have these like, now like with the resurrection sort of theme concept, you know, who is he now? Like, what is he, when you touch the, like, you know, the eternal, in the sense that coming back from the grave, like how are we changed by that, you know? So
Oh, I can't wait to see that.
fun.
Yeah,
That's great.
very cool.
So also, there have been a number of Batmen, obviously, through the years, but nobody has done as good a job with Bruce Wayne as you and Ben Affleck. Why did you decide to do so
Right.
many scenes with Bruce while a lot of other films focus largely on Batman?
You know, I don't think it's necessarily a conscious like decision to say, oh, let's use Bruce as the sort of conduit. But I mean, I think in these two movies, in BVS and in Justice League, because Batman is forced to do a lot of sort of, he's doing a lot of Bruce Wayne activities, if you will. Like,
yeah,
Bruce Wayne-
yeah. Places only
like,
Bruce can go.
yeah, like being out in the world, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, you know, Bruce doesn't really, it's hard for Batman to go to a party, or it's hard, you know what I mean? Like, I mean,
Unless it's a costume party.
that's cool, that's cool. But I think that, you know,
Cute.
Bruce in his humanity, again, I think is an amazing thing to see. And like, you know, because we know everyone loves Batman and Batman's a badass, and that's just how it is. But the why of that, I think, is really cool.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Everyone loves your Bruce, your and Ben's Bruce. It's fantastic.
Ben's Ben. I love Ben, you know, more than anything.
Fantastic. Well, you know, your casting decisions have really helped shape the entire DCEU. It might have blossomed, but you were the seed. And I think you've done a fantastic job. And Jason Momoa and Gal Gadot turned out especially well. And fans felt that Aquaman and Wonder Woman weren't done justice in the 2017 theatrical cut. What can fans look forward to seeing
not
from
at
those
all.
characters in your version?
Well, you know, I'm not sure. Again, you know, famously, and it's 100% true, I haven't seen the theatrical cut of
Oh,
Justice.
sure, yeah.
And so I'm not 100% sure what happens to them in the movie. But, you know, I would say that.
thing. For your,
What's that?
Forget that thing. Who you don't care about that old version anymore. But
Well,
for
I mean,
yours,
I'm just saying that
yeah,
if you make it as a, you know,
comparison. Yeah.
comparison, yeah, I'm not sure,
Okay.
but I felt like, and we were excited about just how those two kind of loners would have to, you know, be incorporated into this team setting, and like how they would react and what they would do. And meanwhile, you know, Wonder Woman has other things going on as she looks forward to the future, and like what is her place, and is it time to, you know, think about like what she left behind on Themyscira and things like that. Like there's a lot of balls in the air with both of them. So I think it's incredible. It's also funny because Aquaman, the movie, you know, takes place after this movie,
Yes.
right? But Wonder Woman 84 takes place before this movie. So it's an interesting timeline, if you will. But I do think that again, to try to look at it as a really sharp continuity, I think would be a mistake. I think there is like I say, I think those movies now, you know, in a lot of ways, the theatrical version probably of Justice League is a tighter in continuity to what they're doing now in the DCU, because frankly that was a movie that they kind of they were in charge of the elements, right? Mm-hmm. And because of this, and because Warner Brothers has done the kind and amazing gesture of saying, Zack could just go finish your vision. It has it's going to be divergent in some ways. It's just by its nature that
mm-hmm.
and I think that's the thing you want, because it just allows more. More is more.
Yeah. Well, as you said, DC is famous for doing these great graphic novels and these stories that come out and are really the signature of the people who are making them. And so I think that's 100%. A great comparison.
Yeah.
Also, fans are really intrigued by Ray Fisher's Cyborg, whom we haven't seen a lot of just yet, especially today with Black Lives Matter. What do you think his expanded story, and you're going to have a lot more parents as well. What do you think they'll be adding? What do you hope they'll be adding to your film?
I from the beginning, when Chris Terry and I started talking about this story, we really wanted to make Cyborg the heart of the movie, and Ray. From the beginning, we love Ray and the casting of Ray, and I get along amazing. He's a close friend, and we talked to him a lot about like what he thought the character should be, and what kind of, because there's a big, Cyborg goes on a huge journey,
Oh wow, that's
and
great.
Like, I mean, just as far as like where he is when we meet him and where he is at the end of the movie, it's really, he represents in a lot of ways this sort of what it is to create community and what it is to like, bring people together. And I think that we made, like I said, we made the movie, in 2016, and I just think that those themes are more important now than ever. So it's a really amazing and fun journey to be able to work with Ray and to be able to bring that character to life, because it's so important.
Well, finally, your interaction with fans is unparalleled. And you told me you have more than one surprise coming up at JusticeCon later this week.
All right.
And we know what that is now.
Can you tease that all, or?
Yeah. No, of course. I think the JusticeCon stuff. And by the way, I'm super excited about JusticeCon because it's, it's a by fans, for fans con, which I don't know if there's too many of those going on at this scale. With these guys putting it on is just amazing. And so I was more than honored to like do whatever I could to participate. And a lot of my friends, like literal friends, are part of it, so that's fun. And so I may show a clip.
Maybe.
And it is a small clip, but I may. What did I say? It is.
Yeah, you might.
It may be a small clip. Yeah. And also maybe there's another little, like a teeny little kind of another announcement as well, like a little side thing just for the fans. Yeah. And so, not that everything is just for the fans, because I guess it is, but
this is cool though. So people might want to tune in.
I think the clip is that's gonna be fun.
Oh, that's very exciting. And when is this panel? It's later this week.
Yeah, I'm on Saturday.
Saturday. Okay, so Saturday.
I'm looking for my notes, but I don't have.
I'll put the information down.
Yeah. It's Saturday. I think
check it out.
I'm right. I think I'm right after Ray. So.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's cool.
So really, Zack,
very cool.
We're also happy for you, and congratulations. It just can't be said enough.
It's too kind. I thank the fans, because without them, like I said, this wouldn't happen. So it's pretty amazing.
Very cool.
Thanks, Zack. Thank you for your time. Stay safe.
Cheers. Okay,
Nice. So, my big takeaways from all of that. First of all, it was really cool to see Zack Snyder just talking about things as a fan. He's got a love for the characters. That is evident, especially with Man of Steel. I thought that was an amazing movie that really showed a lot of love to the characters and the comics. So, absolutely love that. Very self-effacing. I love that he gave a nod to the Matt Reeves Batman that's coming out. I think that that's very, very cool of him. One thing that I noticed, they made mention of all the characters in the Justice League movie for the Justice League: Superman, Batman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, but conspicuous by his absence is Ezra Miller as the Flash. And I am quite sure that that's because he has had some pretty big controversy as of late. And there's been some speculation about what other movies are going to do with him, if they're even going to have him in the movies. So I thought that that was really interesting that they made no mention of him whatsoever, and I think that was intentional. I love how he talks about the journey of Superman, starting from Man of Steel, going through BVS, coming back from the dead, so to speak. You know, how does that affect his personality, and then just his personality overall, having dealt with everything that he's dealt with, and trying to be somewhat human, even though he's not. And I think that that's really, really cool, and I love that they're going with that journey. That's why I say I love that, you know, Zack Snyder has his vision for things, and he does like character work. So I'm really excited about this. I don't know how you could not be if you're a DC fan. This is as big as it gets because it's, you know, our version of Avengers, except for we didn't build up to it. Well, I should say Warner Brothers, not we. Warner Brothers didn't build up to it correctly. They didn't plan it out nearly as well as Marvel at Disney Studios did. And so that's unfortunate, but maybe, just maybe, this could be something to hopefully correct a little bit of that. Because Justice League, Suicide Squad, I wasn't a fan of either. And it's funny because I kind of liked both when they came out, because I've always said when I first go into a theater to watch a movie, I just shut my brain off, just watch the movie for what it is. And then I start to tear it apart as I watch it more, and I, you know, pick out things that have happened, plot details, mishaps, storylines that just don't make sense, graphics, everything. You know, I kind of pick it apart, but when I first go to see a movie, I just want to watch it and enjoy it for what it is. So I'm really glad that they are doing this, though, because maybe I can get that reaction back, you know, that just watching it and enjoying it for what it is. And I'm really hoping that they throw in some cameos. We didn't really get a lot of information about the movie except for runtime. We got, you know, talk about character development and stuff like that, but specifically, I would love to see Green Lantern, since he is the last of the main 7 Justice League members. An argument could be made for Martian Manhunter, but really Green Lantern has been a mainstay. So I would love to see him in the movie, really in the movie, some version of like Hal Jordan or Kyle Rayner, you know, whoever. It doesn't matter to me. Darkseid, I actually want to see Darkseid. We did get a clip or a picture that shows Darkseid, so that's cool. So I'm pretty excited about this, man. I'm pretty excited. So ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackowitz, Caged Nation, out.